Hello and welcome to another episode of making Diablo clone in Common Lisp. So today I'm gonna be refactoring ECS again, but I think I'm close to an end. So yeah, the last week I've been doing refactoring of components system, so I've just committed those this morning. So here's this new macro which defines all of that stuff using the structure of arrays. I think there's also the new macro for structure of arrays. So today I think what I'm going to do is, and this is all based on sparse array. Have I not forgotten? Yeah, I haven't forgotten to commit that. I think, yep, here it is, sparse array. Yeah, right. So what I'm going to be doing today is this. I had this neat idea that, for the new game, when the new game starts, I'm doing this crap. So I'm going through all of the entities, like literally all of them, and just removing all of them, but not if I find if there is some components that I will be needing later. So if there is no UI system, if there is no sprite batch or debug system component. So in all other cases, well, unless I'm removing that entity. And that's kind of dumb to go in loop through all of this. So as this to-do comment says, I had this nice idea of having some sort of parent-child relationship so that I can have the single entity that would represent the whole game session. And then to stop this set game session, I would have to just remove this one entity, and it would have all of entities of things that are happening in game, like its children, so it will remove all of its children, and well, the process would be recursive, but anyway, it will just stop the current game. So I think it would be much more elegant than freaking this. Right, so I think I'm gonna try and make this new mechanic. I still have not a solid idea about how to do that. And I would have to change one more thing here. Yeah, right. So I will obviously change somehow the delete entity function, but that is going to be later. So for starters, I think I would need some sort of global variable that would hold those relationships. And I've been thinking, so I'm only using this for bookkeeping. To delete all of the children entities when some entity is deleted. So there are several different game engines. For instance, there is this Ogre 3D engine, and it's kind of nice, and it also has some sort of parent-child relationship between its game objects. But there it is a bit trickier. In Ogre, if you change some entity coordinates, or for instance transform, which means like the rotation or some sort of that, the position of some object, all of the children objects would change their positions accordingly. So for instance, if you move something to the left on, I don't know, 10 pixels, then everything that is children of that object would also move to the left in 10 pixels. I don't think I'm needing this. I think I'm only going to be using that mechanism for bookkeeping and for memory management. So I've been thinking just now, I think I don't actually need for any given entity, I don't need to know its parent, because, why would I need this? But for any given entity, I think I need to know all of its children. So I've been thinking about the data structure to choose for this, and I still don't know how to do better with this. I think I have like these entities from 0 to entities count, this global variable, and I think I should move it here for clarity, probably. so I'm having here this how it's called, entities count, entities count. Yeah, here we go. So I think, oh, I think I'm using it somewhere here. Yeah, why am I having this? But yeah, anyway, so entities count. Yes, I'm using it only here. Alright. Unregister all systems. Yeah, probably I will somehow change that later. And this one, oh, I'm using it somewhere else. Oh yeah, here, okay. And it is allocated. Yeah, perhaps in my ASD file I will just move entities upper. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this right now. So in ASD file I have the systems and entities, so I'm gonna move entities here. Okay, so because of this I could safely move this and even this, I think. Am I using deleted somewhere? Yeah, I think I can move all of this stuff in my entities.list here. Right, so I'm having these entities from 0 to this entities count. And so basically every entity in my engine is, well, just a fixed number, just an integer. Right. So, but several entities at any given moment could be deleted, and they could be in this array, in this vector called deleted entities. So yeah, so there could be some holes in that range from 0 to entities count. So deleted here, and I need to store children for those entities. So how I'm gonna address this? So well, my idea was to just have an array again, and again from 0 to entities count, and in that array I would have as elements, I would have probably a lists which would contain those children, because well, I don't think it is viable to have a vector, but then again maybe not, because well yeah, the list is just singly linked list. So but then again I don't have to search anything in that list. I'm only using those children to do the enumeration, to just go through that list and delete all of those. But if I would have some predicate which checks if some entity is the parent of another, then probably, yeah, the usual list wouldn't be a very good solution. Wait, can I use some sort of hash table for this? Would it be more compact? Okay, so the first idea, the first naive idea would be the vector of lists of, well, children, of children entities, which are just fixed nums. So the second idea is to use hash table. And the keys in that hash table would be what would be the parents, the parent entities. It is fixed num again, and then the values would be, okay, so what should be the values? Again, I would have to pick something, lists, for instance, lists of children entities again. Children entities. So I could modify that, both of those variants actually, and instead of lists, lists, I would have, for instance, vectors again, fixed num vectors. Right. So, and so I think the second variant would be more memory effective, because for the first one I'm storing those lists, for instance, for every entity from 0 to entities count. So that's not very memory effective. And for hash table, I'm only storing those entities which actually have children. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with hash tables. Yeah, I think so. Right. So I'm gonna just mark here. So which should be the values? Should it be lists or vectors of fixed num? Okay, so that's again the question of memory effectiveness. So how big would it have? How big would it occupy the lists? The list of several fixed num against the vector. Okay, so I think there should be some function in SBCL in my compiler which should show the actual object size and memory. So I think I'm gonna have to Google for that. So common Lisp, object size. Find the size. No, that's for Lisp works. Yeah, I'm not using Lisp works. Manage by objects. Yeah, I think I already read that. Right, so there's CCL object direct size in CCL. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think I'm gonna use that. Oh, come on. This selection in Google Chrome is so freaking bad. Okay, so CCL direct object size. Oh, no, not that. Alright. This function shows the size of thing in bytes, including any headers on alignment. It does not descend to the object components. Okay. Right. So I think I'm gonna start CCL REPL. CCL. Come on. Alright. So now I have CL object direct size, and I can have. Okay, so how many would be? How many possibly there would be children in some entity? So for that entity which would be representing the new game, I think there would be quite plenty. Something in the range of hundreds or maybe even more, well, depending on the game. So okay, I'm gonna just start little and just see it list like that, 10 fixed nums. So the size of this is 16. 16 what? 16 bytes. 16 bytes. So I have 64-bit machine. So 64-bit are what? 8 bytes. Oh, so 16. Yes, I think this function would show 16 for any list because, well, yeah, the list is only a cons. So this basically means that every every cons cell in CCL takes 16 bytes, which is 2 by 8, which is, yeah, exactly 2 64-bit words, which totally makes sense. So for the list of n elements, list of n fixed nums. So the fixed num is the immediate value, so it is not some sort of indirect pointer, it's just the value inside that cons cell. Okay, so for the list of n fixed nums, that would make what? So this would take like n cons cells, right? So for list like 1, it is just one cons cell. Then I'm adding 2, and there are 2. First one and second one, right? So then I'm adding 3, and there are 3 cons cells, right? So yeah, so every cons cell is 16 bits, which means I'm having n by 16 bytes, right? So let's go with the vector. So I'm gonna just make array of what? Like, okay, of 10 integers. So the element type would be fixed num. I think I should code that. Yeah. Then displaced adjustable initial element, initial contents. So the contents would be something like, again, this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so how about that? 96. That's interesting. So that includes all of the headers and all of the stuff. So, okay, what if I remove some of those? Oh yeah, right, sure. So I'm gonna make this array of 8, and now it's 80. Okay, so if I divide like 96 by what, by 10? Oh yeah, okay. Come on, just do floating point 1. Okay, and if I divide 80, I'm just trying to figure out what the headers size is for the arrays. So now I'm having 8, and that is precisely 10. So I think it is like maybe 9. Okay, so what am I having here? I'm having 80 bytes. So if I divide, I'm having 10 bytes per element on average, which is kinda a lot. Okay, so what if I have only one and as the initial contents only that 16? Okay, and then if I add the second element, I'm having 32, and then 32 again. All right. Right. So 16 for one element. Okay. So I'm gonna remove these initial contents and try and make an array of, for instance, 100 elements. Come on. And this takes 816 bytes. Right. Which are so I have 64-bit machine. 64-bit are 8 bytes, right? Right. So there are 102 machine words. Okay, now I see. So probably the header size is precisely 2 machine words. Looks like something in the region of that. Alright, and if I'm having an entity with 100 of children, then it is occupying 816 bits, and if I would have a list, it would occupy 100 by 16, 1600. So it is actually better to have some sort of array here, because, well, it would be a lot of, I mean, more memory effective. So, I mean, there's difference like in 2 times. Instead of having a kilobyte and 600 bytes, I'm having just 800 bytes. Right. So, probably, yeah, the fixed num vectors. And then again, what would be the API for that? So I think in make entity I would just append some sort of optional argument, which would be those children. But okay, let's just look at that place which I would be changing. So here, new game. Yeah, so I have this spec and I would be calling make object. Right. So, and yeah, in a loop. Yeah, probably I would have changes in make object actually in systems here. So in make object, I think I would have some optional parent, and I would just pass this parent here. Yeah, still I would have to have the extra argument in make entity. But is it kind of viable? So I'm calling make object and having optional parent. Right, I'm just passing through this parent to make entity. Yeah, I guess that will do. And then again, in entities, in make entity, I'm having this optional parent. Yeah. Okay. And what would happen here? So in make entity, the parent. Yeah, so that basically means that I would have to add these new children on the fly. So I'm gonna have to change this vector. And yeah, changing vectors, especially vector size in common Lisp, is kinda awkward. So you have to know the vector size before its creation, and if you don't, you would have to create it to be adjustable, and the access to adjustable arrays is kinda less performant than to usual ones. So yeah, it's all kinda flaky. So okay, what I've been interested in is how CCL actually goes about access to different types of arrays. So I'm gonna try this trick that I've been using just to see the disassembly in CCL. Yeah, I'm gonna use this. Yep. So I'm gonna have some arguments in that lambda, like the array and the index. And then I'm gonna declare the type. So the type of I would be fixed num, and the type of A would be, yeah, that's the most interesting one. So for A, let's start with, for instance, with simple vector. So A. So I'm gonna just return a ref of A and I. Am I doing it right? I think so. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna also try and read CCL disassembly. It's kinda not that obvious as in SBCL, but still. For some reason it pushes some stuff on the stack, if I'm not mistaken, and then it just does the move instruction here. So it just goes, yeah. So I think it is just basic mov for simple vector, right? Okay, and what if I go with the vector of fixed num, for instance, vector of fixed num. Okay, that's a bit trickier. What's happening here? So we initialize this stack frame, and then we move something here, and then compare and jump to label, and in that label we jump again, and then we get again the similar move instruction, and then for some reason we multiply that. Oh, I think that's boxing happening for that fixed num. What's happening here? So and so compare. So compare y jump, and if that jump is not happening, then we add bpw. I don't even know what that instruction means. Let's see. Somewhere bpw. Oh. Probably W means word, so I should search. Oh yeah, check bit, I think. Bit test, yeah. Store select the bit in CF flag. Okay, I think I got this. So then we do move again and jump to label 29 again, and then we add something, check a bit and jump again. I beg my pardon. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. So this is some sort of loop, which is again bonkers. Okay, so let's test, for instance, simple vector. Oh, sorry, simple array. Simple array. Wait, is there a simple array? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and for simple array it's kinda also nice and easy. And for, let's go just with an array. Oh, here's again this thing with this loop of sorts. Yeah, that's kinda weird. Okay, so let's switch to SBCL. Okay, I'm gonna copy that, just not to type it again. Yeah, and that's some SBCL for you, so it's, I think, a lot more effective. Oh yeah, sorry, that's actually a jump to a function, this hairy data vector ref, which is kind of large function, and well, it is a performance hit. So if we actually go, so if we go with, for instance, with simple vector, so simple vector does not have a type, just simple vector. Yeah, that's that. That's only one mov, and that's basically it. The next ones are just stack frame finalization. So, if it is not a simple vector, but a vector of fixed num, yeah, that's again hairy data vector ref. And yeah, so that's only for a simple vector, and that's why in my global vector structure, which I've made here, I'm using simple vector as a storage, because well, all the other types of vectors just yield this terrible function call instead of just one move instruction with this indirect arithmetic. So if I actually disassemble that, yep, nope, not that. This one. So if I disassemble that, yeah, it actually does some checking and then some call to another function. Wait, is that function? R6. Oh no, that's some sort of global variable. Data vector refers. Okay. And yeah, well, actually, it's not that bad. At least when we are talking about just getting the value, not setting the value. So there is some pointer arithmetic, then we jump. Oh yeah, we test this value that we got here in conditional jump, and then here we just move some stuff around and do some flags flipping, and yeah, then we just have this nice move instruction. And after that we're jumping. Where are we actually jumping? In EAX. So we jumped here of EAX. Oh, I see. This function is kinda only the dispatcher for some sort of, well, I mean for a bunch of other functions which are actually array accessors. That's kinda, well, that's a lot. Yeah, I don't want that. So here in this particular case, in that children for the entities I'm trying to implement, the only viable choice for a vector would be simple vector, and then again I would have to grow it when necessary, so then again I just can use just that growable vector of mine. Yeah, so it is it has a tiny bit of overhead of these two, well, basically two machine words, size and initial element. Yeah, but I think for the majority of entities there would be no children at all, and I think basically here probably I'm better with the lists, with just plain old common Lisp single linked list, because, well, first of all I can efficiently add to that. It's just the O of one operation. I just need to modify the last cons cell, and yeah, only the tiny amount of all of the entities, only tiny fraction would actually have any children at all. So yeah, I think I shouldn't be cautious about extra memory here. Right, so I think I'm gonna just go with lists, and the bonus points are of course because of if we don't have any children in entity, we can set the nil as this list, and nil is perfectly valid list in common Lisp. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna have a hash table of lists. Yeah, right. Okay, so where was it? Where was I? I think I was going to check. Oh yeah, I also want to see to what compiles adding to a list. So let's say we have a list. So now instead of vector fix, oh nope, instead of vector fix num, this would be list. This would be fix num. So I'm adding this I to L, which I think is done with the push function. Yeah, not push new, but yeah. So I'm gonna just quickly read some documentation. Item place. Points item to the list stored in place. Stores the west in place and returns to west. Yeah, okay, so the first element is item for some reason. Okay, so push I to L, and that's it, I think. Oh wait, what? A? Oh yeah, right, to A. What? List L. Oh yeah, I've renamed that. Let's rename it back. Alright, here we go. So yeah, of course, now there is the allocation happening. So this function const to R11 basically does memory allocation for SBCL, and well, I think it just only does the pointer shift in that thread TLS table or whatever. Anyway, so the core of that, yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff happening here. So for some reason there is some jump here, and then here jump to L2. Oh yeah, that's the allocation. Right, so what's happening before that jump is just stuff for allocation, I think. So we return from that allocation to label L0. And here, what we do here, so we put RIX R11 plus n, and R11 holds this new pointer, I think. So we put it to RIX, and then R13, I think that's also related to memory. Yeah, thread pseudo-atomic bits, whatever that means. Then we jump to L1, and yeah, I think the actual stuff happens in this label L1. So we move something here, then we move RDX, so I think RDX should be the argument register. So we put that here, then shuffle some stuff around. Yeah, I think that's the return value, the return list. Yeah, okay. Is that even working? So if I define that, that as, oops, nope, I wasn't going to press enter yet. So some test, yeah, like that. And if I have some list, let's say L of 1 and 2, and if I call test with that L and for instance 4, I have, oh, it is like pre-pended. I don't think I want that. Or do I? Oh yeah, it is pre-pended, right? So it is simpler to prepend, because to append to the end of the list I would have to go through all of that list. I don't want that. So they are being added like on the reverse. I think I'm okay with that. Oh, and does my L changed? No, it doesn't. Yeah, I think I should have used setf. But yeah, anyway, I think that will all do. Yeah, right. So, children. So I would define again some global variable. Well, first of all, I'm going to declare the type. So the type would be hash table. Oh, and by the way, could I specify the types for hash table type? I'm seeing this. Yeah. As precedence nodes. No, I don't think I can specify any types here. Yeah, okay, just a hash table. So the hash table, and I think I'm gonna call a variable like entities children. So are there children? Yeah, there are. So entities children. Yeah, I think something like that. Entities children. Okay, then again I'm gonna define this global var. Wait, can I? Okay, so I think I should somehow. So global, yeah, here we go. The global variable, define global var by the name of entities children and the initial value of hash table, just empty hash table. So the hash functions, yeah, initial contents, wait a second, that's some extra function from some library. I think the standard one is make hash table. Yeah, that one. So the test would be, yeah, I think EQL, because I'm gonna be storing the fixed nums as keys. Yeah, and fixed nums should be compared with EQL. Right. What else? Size, rehash size, hash function, weakness synchronized. Yeah, I don't need any of those. So here we go. Okay. So now I should modify some functions accordingly. Yeah, so for instance here, blah blah blah. Yeah, right. So that would be the result, right? Yeah, right. But I put this. Okay. So this is the result, like the new entity. Well, let's just go maybe this. No, let's just go with new entity. So this is new entity, and what I need to do here is to check if parent is supplied. Wait, would it be nil if the optional parameter is not supplied? Let's just quickly check. I'm too lazy to read the documentation. So the test one with some optional argument arg, and I'm gonna just return that. Okay, so test one, nil, yeah, cool. And with some argument, yeah, I got it. Okay, so I'm going to check if that parent is supplied, and when it is, when parent. We're gonna just get the value from that hash table. So that would be get, what was that? Get hash? Yeah, get hash. So by the key of parent, we're gonna, from that table, and it is children, we're going to take the value with the default of nil. And then we are going to push that new entity to that place, and then we are going to set f it back to that hash table. So get hash parent def. I think I got that right. So we set f to that hash. Yeah, the list with pushed new entity looks about right. So that's one parent, and then after that check we can return the new entity. So that's the allocation function. Okay, so I think I'm gonna compile all of that stuff and just see if it still works. What? Okay, I think I've messed somewhere. Setf. Wait, where? Why? Hash. Where? Oh, right. I think in get hash I missed something. So the key would be parent, and yeah, the hash table itself. Got that. So here we go. Is that better? Okay, that is better. Okay, so I think I can launch the demo now and see if that still works. Yeah, okay, it looks like something. Yeah, it's still working. So I'm gonna try several playthroughs. I'm gonna just click a new game. and I'm gonna do that 3 times because, well, I've just fixed a bug this morning which was manifesting itself when I was making the new game 3 times over after I've killed that bug. I mean that creature in the game, not the actual bug. So I think I don't see any bugs, I mean programming bugs right now. Yeah, I think it all still works fine. Well, that's because I'm never actually triggering this condition. Okay, so let's just also modify delete entity. So, issue entity deleted. Okay. So I think before doing all of that, before even issuing the event, I should delete recursively all of the children. Do I really need to skip the, I mean do event issue after? Yeah, I think so. Right. So I'm gonna go over all of those children and call delete entity on those. Okay. So I'm gonna have the list. So the variable will be child, I guess, and the list would be get hash of that entity from that hash table entities children. Yeah, that one. So the default would be nil, obviously. Then we go with that list, and for every child we call delete entity. Entity child. Yeah, and I think that's basically it. Yeah, probably that's it. Okay, so now I'm gonna start the demo again. And again, I don't think that would be triggered often. As a matter of fact, that wouldn't be triggered at all. Yeah, so to make that work, I would have to actually have some children and parrots and etc. Okay, so I'm gonna just do it 3 times again, just to be sure. Yeah, that all kind of still works. So the credits also work. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So now I think this mechanic is basically done. So I have yeah, this storage of children, and I'm using that for bookkeeping in delete entity. So yeah, I think I'm done here. Alright, so I'm gonna go to that file and actually use that new mechanic. That would be the hardest part. Okay, how am I going to go with that? Yeah, first of all, the creation. I think I would modify that creation, so I'm going to have this. Yeah, probably I should have this entity, like this session management, so I would have some sort of global variable that is keeping that entity, which is, well, the parent entity for all other entities in the game. So yeah, the farm, blah blah blah. The entity. Maybe oh yeah, I should have it as the global variable because this function can be called anytime. I think I probably even should put that to some separate file but I'm gonna do that later. And for now, I'm gonna just go with that global vars define global var. I forgot what's the difference again. So those global var and global parameter, it's like the usual def var and def parameter. So I need the def var here. I think. Yeah, I will be defining the value. But then the star version is like, what does it do? I reckon the usual version is like compile time. The initial value is evaluated compile time, and for the star version it is evaluated at load time. Yeah, that's the difference, I think. So here I don't actually care, so I'm gonna go with global var. So the name will be something like game session entity, or like just session entity. And the initial value would be, say, 0. No, that's a bad idea. The invalid entity. Invalid entity, right. Here we go. And I'm gonna declare the type for that. So the type would be of_num. And yeah, for the session entity. Yeah, here we go. We're gonna compile that. And okay, now we have this session entity, so I am going to set that with some new entity. Make entity. And then in that list, I'm gonna just feed that here as the parent. Session entity. Yep. So that's the creation. Oh, and I think I am going to have to use that inside some systems, because for some systems some entities have some debug entities which are dependent on them, and I think I can also use that mechanism there. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna just focus on those for starters. Okay, so I'm set that here, and yeah, then here, right in the deletion function. Okay, I'm gonna just comment all of that and just delete that parent entity. I think it is going to end badly, because again, I'm going to delete all of those stuff that is important, probably. Am I? Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that, because for instance the UI entities, they're created independently. I think here, for instance, the credit screen is created, yeah, right here with make object. So it is kind of independent object and it wouldn't be deleted, so I think I'm all good here, probably. Okay, so I've compiled all of that stuff, and yeah, what is happening here? Function make object is called with, oh yeah, I haven't recompiled the actual definition for that. Yeah, here we go. Okay, nice. So I am going to just launch the demo and finger crossed. I mean, it wouldn't crash right away, but it will most probably crash after pressing new game. Credits, credits to work, and new game. Yeah, I thought so. Alright, so what's the problem? So where are we? Entity deleted. This component. That's weird. So what is actually happening here? Delete entity -1. I wasn't going to. Oh, now I see. Because I'm trying to delete that, and it's still that's just the first game, so I hadn't had any session before, and because of that, it obviously crashes. Okay, so I think I need to check that here. So if the entity is valid, come on, entity valid p, come on, entity valid p of that session entity. Only then we are trying to delete that. Okay, that makes sense. Well, come on, just alright. And now I'm gonna click new game, and yeah, it works. Nice. So I can start a new game, but what would happen if I am going to press the new game right now? Most probably it will just crash. Hadn't. That's actually surprising. How does that even work? I mean, come on. Probably I'm having several entities. Okay. Oops. Control stack exhausted. Wow. This is probably due to heavily nested and recursive function. Yeah, delete entity is now recursive, but come on, it shouldn't do that. They'll call that would be helpful, but I have one optimized way. Okay, let's see the stack. Alright, I'm calling delete entity 11 for, well, quite some time. Why is that happening? Oh, now it's trying to unwind all the stack. Okay. So I've called new game, then delete entity 9, then delete entity 11, and then here we go. Yeah, 911. Sure, exactly. Okay. So what is the problem here? So obviously I'm calling delete entity here, so obviously this 9 is entities here, so so for some reason this 11 is the parent of itself, which is weird. Parent. Okay, probably I should shove here some assert, checking that those are not equal. So the parent is not equal to new entity. Alright, I'm gonna try that again and possibly figure that out. Okay, let's see. So it has triggered after I pressed new game, what, 3 times? Yeah, I think so. Wait, what? No. Oh, yeah, okay. Obviously this assert should be here because I don't want to be checking, comparing nil with some numbers. Alright, I probably should close some of those. Okay, here we go. Oh, I think I already have some glitches. I mean, those are obviously glitches. This shouldn't be happening, and even my character is not having a head. She lost her head. Yeah, not that funny. And these debug lines are, well, obviously wrong. So how does that happen? I mean, hey, oh, I think I have some of those wrong. So probably after, yeah, I'm operating in the same LISP image. Yeah, that's the problem. So, well, actually, first of all, I would have to clear this at some point, probably in that function where I clear all of other things in here. So I'm gonna just clear that hash. Yeah, here we go. And I think I'm gonna restart my Lisp image because it is kinda compromised. Okay. And yeah, come on, just stop being slow. Okay. And I'm going to try if it works now. And why the heck I'm trying to do this kind of cycle in parent relationship. I'm trying basically at some point to make some entity to be parent of itself. That's not good. Okay, so now is seemingly no glitches. So I'm gonna try and kill that spider ant. Press a new game. Okay, so it still works and it does not assert. Try again. No, still fine. Okay. Okay, the fourth time. At the fourth time this happens. Yeah, that's weird. That's super weird. Okay, so I'm gonna just see at the bottom of the stack. Okay, delete entity 11. What is actually happening here? So I'm trying to delete component before sprite system. Oh, I think I have some sort of custom method in sprite system which actually deletes the sprite batches which are kind of related to the actual sprite. Yeah, here, and I even have this comment that I should use parent-child relationship. So why is this happening with sprite entity with entity? Okay. Huh. It means that for some reason I had those. Oh yeah, no, that's not what's happening here. So what is actually my variable, which is that session thing? Let's see. How do I switch to REPL? Yeah, here we go. So session entity 9. Okay, so it starts. Okay, it starts normal, but then 11. That's basically. Oh, I think I can see the problem. I can do double delete at some point because I'm not clearing those children actually. So in entities here, so after I delete all of the entities, I'm not deleting the list. Yeah, sure, exactly. I think that's the problem here. So I need to basically set f with that to now what would happen if I'm not supplying the default? The thing is, I don't want to clutter that hash table with some nils for no reason. So, well, because of that, I can't just do that. I should check if it exists and only then set that. Okay, so set up used to manage the especially to add a new entry. And I get hash form is used as So def place and default, which is applied to the value according to measure, but this value is ignored in the default is ignored. Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, I think I actually need run hash here. Yeah, exactly. Right. So hash. So the key will be entity, and the table obviously this entities should be. Okay, I think that's it, and this should do the trick. Come on. So now I'm going to have to restart the LISP image for obvious reasons, and just try the demo again. Jesus, why this is not? Oh yeah, I already quick-loaded that, so yeah, now we are for the demo. Alright. Jesus, why this is slow? So, new game. And it was triggered before on the 4th time. Okay, so let's see. That's the first, that's the second one. So now the third time, which is the charm. Like the charm from Diablo. Yeah, and now the fourth. Okay, so now it works and it does not crash. Cool. So one more time. Yeah, and credits still work, so everything basically works. Yay! Okay, cool. I think I did this, and it was easier than I thought, actually. Okay, so now I should also use that mechanic, this parent-child thing, in some systems where this is actually, well, makes sense. Let's see. So here, entity and target. So here in camera system, I'm basically having this target entity, which is the target for camera, which is actually similar to the thing I was describing before in the Ogre game engine, where you actually make some entity a child of another entity and their positions are changed like accordingly. So you change the position of the parent and the position of the child is changed automatically. So I'm basically having something like here, like that here. So when I change, when the position of the target changed, the position of the camera is also changed. And do I actually need to make them parents of one another? I don't think so, because I'm not actually removing that camera entity. And yeah, it's created kind of once. Yeah, right. And the target, yes, when I remove the target, I don't need to remove the camera, I think. Target? Yeah. So here we are clear. So let's go further. Collision system. Yes, so here I have this debug entity, but can I actually make this the parent of some other entity? And do I really need that? I don't think so. I have this debug entity. Yep, I don't think so. entity. I mean, why when they are weird? Alright, I'm gonna just look at that later. So here I actually can't shove this parent-child thing anywhere. Okay, let's check further. In combat system, here I actually have this target entity, but then again, there wouldn't be a lot of sense to delete this target when something other is deleted. Yeah, so okay, so the next one is coordinate system. It does not even have any entities here. Yeah, coordinate. Yeah, so here I'm all good. Now the coordinate system. Yeah, do I have something like that? Here I have UI entity. But then again, I don't need to delete that actually ever until the game stops. No, probably, yeah, here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, here I actually have to delete entity of that UI entity. Yeah, right. But that's another topic. Okay, so the next one is debug system. What is happening here? So other points. Yeah, I'm not even having any entities here. I mean, I have this entity as an argument, but it is only changing that debug buffer. Wait, why it is entity though? Oh yeah, I'm calling with the bug buffer macro, which just accesses that component of that entity. So that kind of makes sense. Okay, so the next system to check would be HP system, and well, that's clear that I can't use that new mechanism here. So the next one after HP will be item system. Yeah, and here probably something should be done. So, right, make item, okay, make component. All right. So, I think I can actually use it here because I'm creating some new entities. Yeah, here in job item. Right, and here it actually will make sense because yeah, when for some reason the owner is deleted, then this item also should be deleted, most probably, because well, actually some entities, some in-game, for instance mobs, could be dead, but this does not mean that their corresponding entity is deleted. It just means that they have stuck at the state where they have this sprite of a dead body. So there are different situations. And yeah, I think I will try and put here this owner entity as a parent. I wonder if the game would crash after that. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna try and check both conditions, both clicking new game when there is some component, some item on the floor, and clicking new game when, oh yeah, okay, the assertion failed. I mean the one that is... Come on, what is happening here? Make entity 9, make object camera with a parent of 9. That's weird. Make entity. Okay. This. So here, for some reason, parent equals new entity. Okay. Wait a second. Why am I creating a camera with the parent? Oh yeah, the 9 would be the parent of, I mean this session thing. So if I actually go to REPL and see that not systems session entity, yeah, it is 9. Okay. Why then? Yeah, make entity 9. Okay. So this means that new entity is 9. I mean, come on, what? Why? How does that happen? That's super weird. So the deleted entities should be empty by that moment. Okay, so does this bug trigger always? Come on, work. Okay. Yeah, it kinda triggers every time. Okay, let's just shove some debug prints here. So, well, first of all, program, and after that, I'm going to I'm going to print these deleted entities. But I don't think that's the case here. I mean, come on, it was working before. What have I changed? Have I changed something in the camera? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. So if I put again, 9. Okay, so for some reason this 9 is in deleted entities, which is bizarre. I mean, how did that happen? Okay, so this means that at some point I have this entity deleted. Oh, I think I see the problem. The problem is that after the game stopped, in the same Lisp image, I should set this session entity back to invalid entity. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, where should I reset that? Probably somewhere also here in that file. I think somewhere here. Wait, do I also need to stop the game by deleting this session stuff here? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it like that and just set f here to invalid entity. Okay, this should do the trick. Then I don't need this debug stuff. Yeah, and that. Yeah. Okay. So I will just restart the Lisp just to be sure. Quick load it again. one more time. I think it should work now. Okay, so new game works really. And the new game after the new game. Yeah, I was going to check if creating these items as the children of that owner entity is kind of okay. So if I click new game now, yeah, it kind of works. Okay, that's fine. And if I let it on the ground, it works. And if I actually take it, would it work then? Come on. So okay, it kind of works. That's cool. If I take it again and again, yeah, I think it's all fine. So, would my bug fix work for the same LISP image? So if I call it again and press new game again, would it crash now? It actually shouldn't. Yeah, okay, it works now. Cool. So I think that's all for the item system. Right, so I'm creating this item as the child of owner. Okay. Do I have something like that anywhere here? Oh, wait a second. Here might be the problem when I am creating. Oh, that's kinda big. So when I'm removing that child entity, that item entity, without the parent knowing that I'm removing it, in that hash table there would be stale fixnum, and it's okay if it is kinda pointing to an invalid entity, but it can point to a whole different entity if it was deleted at some point, and basically it would lead to the deletion of some random entity, and that's bad. And actually the simplest way to fix that would be to go through all of that hash table and to find that child, but again this is computationally nightmare because it will take a lot. So yeah, the idea is then not to delete entity if the parent does not know about that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the comment about that. Call this one entity as some parent. When parent is set, deleting parent entity automatically deletes. Yeah, okay. Do not call this one entity as parent. Yeah, right. So actually here I don't think I need this because this entity. But then again, if I leave it on the ground, that means that actually they shouldn't be. I mean, if I leave it on the ground and click new game, it should still be there. Why this wasn't the case? Alright, so I'm gonna remove that. Yeah, because well, this violates my own rule about deleting the child without parent knowing. And yeah, the thing is that after the item is dropped, and I click game, it actually should still be there. So yeah, here's that health potion, and I click game. Yeah, it is still there, and that totally makes sense. Yeah. So I think I should somehow work that around. Well, basically all of that item system is kinda very hackish, and I want to rewrite this because, well, in Diablo clones you don't pick up items by going on top of them. You just click on those, you open some sort of inventory window and put it there. So yeah, this totally would be overwritten, but anyway, I should do something about that. Yeah. So okay, I am going to make this parent, yeah, to make this to be the child of owner entity. But this means that I can't delete it here. Delete entity. Yeah. How do I go with that? Maybe I should have some means to remove that link, that relationship between child and parent entities, so that if I break it here, it would work just fine. And then if they are not deleted here by picking up by the player, then, well, they will be deleted automatically when the new game starts, and that's exactly what I want. Alright, so can I break that link? Something like remove child, or maybe delete child, yeah. Well, in common Lisp, delete is always a destructive operation, remove always makes a new object. So delete, something like delete child, parent and child. So how can I do that? Oh, wait a second, maybe I could even... So actually I can't call it with the parent here because I basically don't know the parent at that point. Yeah, that's bad. So to actually delete this link, I should go over all the entries in that hash table, and in every list I should look for that child. And again, that's computationally that's bad because, well, actually I will go only over all of the entities that actually have any children. Let's call it, I don't know, n. And then I would have to go over every child there. Yeah, that's not very good. Yeah, I guess I can't go around that without having some support data structure that will eat extra memory. What could be that extra data structure? That could be a hash table again, but only from a fixed num to a fixed num, from the child to a parent. Yeah, some kind of reverse table. But it would, yeah, so the size of that extra hash table, the extra memory occupied by that, would be determined by what? By the count of entities that actually have a parent. And that would be probably a lot. For instance, in that creating a new game, that would be like virtually any new entity. Yeah, that's kinda a lot. On the other hand, am I calling this, would I be calling this stuff very often? So it is only happening when when the player is trying to pick up an item. Yeah, when the player tries to pick up an item and actually picks it up. So here and here in the places. Yeah, the different cases for a health potion and for all of other basic weapons. So, delete and okay. Probably there would be some situations just like that. Oh yeah, designing API is hard. So basically the question is, should I sacrifice extra memory to speed this deleting children thing up? Or should I sacrifice the speed of that rare situation of removing some child without the parent knowing that, but not to eat extra memory? This kind of, I have to choose one. Alright, let's think. So I'm already having this extra memory occupied by this structure. Not very lot, but still an extra memory. So probably I can go around here somehow. Tricky. Oh, I actually see the way here. So I can make those as the parents of this session entity thing. Yeah, that's kinda, this trick would work, I think. Yeah, right. So I'm gonna remove that function, I don't need it here. And here, instead of owner entity, there would be this session entity, and I would need the definition for that session entity to go a little bit higher. So I probably would remove that from here and put it, for instance, to entities that was somewhere here. Okay. So I made those in item system. I make those as the children of that session entity, and that will do the trick nicely. It should. Okay, so I'm gonna try and restart my LISP image, just in case, to see if that still works. And yeah. so long, this several seconds. Okay, so let's see. Would those items that drop from mobs still be left after I click new game? Actually, they should not. Okay, so here's this health potion, and I will click new game. Yay, it removed. It is removed. Cool. So, new game again. Yay, nice. And if I try and remove that by picking this up, okay, take that. Come on. Okay, and now let's new game. Oh, I think, yeah, there is some bug here. Oh crap. So this thing basically means that I have screwed somewhere. I have fixed that sort of bug just this morning. I actually messed with the indices in that sparse array for components. Alright, so that's the bug here. Why is it happening though? So if I remove that session entity here, would it still happen? So I think I'm gonna try and restart again, just in case. And try and see if that still works. Man, those memory corruptions are like the most awful bug ever. Why is this not happening? Okay, so how it was manifested? I think I've picked some items, which I'm not having here. I've picked some item, and then what I did then. Okay, so I will just try and pick that. And then here's the new game. So looks like no bugs. And then if I leave it on the ground, yeah, no items here for me. Then I think it was triggered by leaving some stuff on the ground. I think so. Probably I should rig my random generator. Okay, so I'm leaving it here, press new game, and yeah, I think, oh, yeah, that's the different bug, I'm aware of that. So right now I think everything's fine. So the items are left there, but no visual glitches. Yeah, right. So so we'll take this one and press new game. Yeah, everything's fine. But then if I uncomment that, and well, yeah, I'm gonna restart again, just in case. And if I try with that line uncommented, I think I will see that weird bug again. So first of all, I would have to figure how it is triggered. Again. Perhaps by leaving some stuff. Yeah, I totally should rig my RNG. So yeah, the health potions. I'm clicking new game without picking this up. Yeah, I think everything's kind of fine actually. What was that? Okay, I'm gonna pick up this dagger. Press new game again. Yeah, here we go. That's exactly what I am talking about. Oh yeah, I see. That's because I am calling delete entity, and then yeah, I still have that. I still have it as the... Oh yeah, but now I actually can implement some sort of function which will actually break that link. Like delete child. Yeah. So from the parent, which I know at that point, I can remove some child. Yeah, and that's computationally simple. That's basically just O of 1. So to do that, I would have to go into the get hash parent of the entity's children. Then I'm gonna have to remove this item from the list. So how do I go remove? No, I think delete maybe. So I think I'm okay with the destructive function here. Am I though? Delete item sequence, blah blah blah, result sequence. So description remove, item remove, respectively, but they may modify sequence. Yeah, that's exactly what I need. Sequence vector blah blah blah. If sequence is a list, the result is a list. Supply blah 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 blah. Count blah blah blah. Elements not able with the current time order as they did in sequence. Yeah, okay. So yeah, count. How the elements are checked for equality. Yeah, test. So the default test, what is the default test? Blah blah blah. So the test could actually be like only the equals function test. So okay, test. Oh yeah, that's not what I thought. Okay, so how does that work? I mean, on the assembler level. So let's say, yeah, I'm having the list and the fixed none, and I'm trying to delete that item from a list. Nice, that's only one call to function sbInt del q. Let's quickly peek at that. Delete all list entries equal to item, destructively modifying list, and return the modified list. Oh, so would that work for numbers? I think that's only implementation detail that it will work on SBCL. Okay. And if I disassemble that, I'm just kind of manic about that, about the disassembly. Yeah, that's not a lot of stuff here. Okay, cool. So can I actually use delete for something that are numbers? Yeah, so they're using that for the examples, so I think that's okay. Delete for for symbols, that's obvious because equal will work here, but that's not complicated. Okay, I think I'm going just to do that. So just delete the item with the child, and the sequence will be that get hash. And then I should put that back, I think. Wait, what would happen if I delete something that is not exist there? Yeah, that's kinda, that makes sense. So get hash parent, no, maybe should I put it there just to be safe? Yeah, just to be safe. So child, and then I should set f in back to that. All right. So I'm gonna document that. Let's okay. I think I'm gonna try to declaim some optimization settings and try to compile that. Wait, what? Unable to convert to equals test due to type uncertainty. The second argument is a sequence. Oh yeah, that is a list. I am sure of that. Oh yeah, here. The list. Yeah, that's better. So if I look at disassembly for that, child. Okay, so we do call a get hash. We do that twice for some reason, and then hash back. Yeah. So just to shove off those couple of extra instructions, I think I'm gonna go with symbol macro left, and to let this to be how do I call that? The children, yeah, children. I'll just put milk here. So set up children to. Oh yeah, I think it wouldn't actually help with those extra instructions. But yeah, I will just try. Oh. So let's see. Yeah, it hadn't helped at all. Okay. I'm gonna just leave it like that. Alright. I think I should restart my Lisp at that point because, well, the optimization settings that I don't want right now. Then I'm gonna quick load the engine and test it again. Come on, why it is so slow? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay, so the root child. I think I should call it now here. Root child, so the parent would be session entity, and the child would be item entity. Wait a sec, I forgot how that bug was triggered again. So the problem was, yeah, when I was picking the items up and pressing new game, yeah, right. Okay, and I need something like that also here. Okay. So now I think I'm ready to test if that bug still manifests. So okay, now I take the item, it is removed now, and now I press new game. So Probably after several new games there should be visual glitches, but right now I'm not seeing any. So I'm gonna try and leave that on the ground. And then I'm gonna try to pick the items up. Yeah, when I have any of those. Okay, so I'm picking this up and new game. And then pick something up again. Yeah, the dagger, nice. So new game. So are there any visual glitches? No, I don't think so. So now I think it is fixed. Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. So now, as this is fixed, alright, so this was the item system. Yeah, so I'm going to quickly go through the rest of systems and see where this mechanism of parents and children could be used more. So, okay, after the item system, the next one is mana system, but that's obviously nothing to do here. Then the mana system, map system. Yeah, probably here something should be done. Yeah, definitely something should be done. So the idea is that, well, first of all, I have the debug entity in those components. So yeah, I think I should modify the creation of those. Wait a second, am I creating something here? No, I don't think so. Yeah. So here, make prefab component. Some weird helpers. Oh yeah, probably I should. Where are those defined? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably I should make those the fields of system. Yeah. So where was I? System finalize. Why am I even doing that? That's ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, system update. System job. I mean, I want to look at those creation functions. Weird. Where have I put, for instance, this debug entity? Let's see. Oh, that's weird. Debug entity. Am I creating this stuff on the fly? Oh yeah, the debug grid. Yeah, right. So here I want to make this debug entity to actually be a parent of this entity. Yeah. Yeah, so actually I think I was having some extra entity not removed. I mean, I had a memory leak. Wow. So after that, I think that would be fixed. Okay, my Emacs is stuck again, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, that's awkward. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly try and test that change if I hadn't broke anything. So I'm gonna just press new game several times. First new game, the second one, yeah, I think that's fine. also the sprite batches. Yeah, that's the thing. So I think I should also make those sprite batches to be... Oh, wait a second. I have those here in prefab. How does that even work? Batches, sprite, batches. Yeah, right, so I'm having those. Oh, yeah, nice. And actually, I don't think I need to do anything here, because those sprite batches are kinda used in the prefabs, and they are used to create all of the new map components, which means that those sprite batches actually do not belong anywhere, so I don't need to remove those when the game, when I press the new game button. Actually, I should remove those when the game is kinda stopped, when I'm exiting it. But that's kinda the issue of the different issue. I'm going to, I don't know, address it later maybe, or yeah, actually I think I should remove all of the entities by the end of the game. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that to do. Wait, maybe I am already doing that. So okay, in that unreleased to all systems. No, I'm actually only setting the pointers and count to 0. That's not the same thing. And in entities, maybe I am doing that. No, I don't think I'm doing that. Maybe in components or systems. So I have delete component here and system create overwritten, but I don't have system finalize. Oh, maybe I should have all that. But then again, okay, in systems, when I have this macro dev system, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so I don't have anything here either about system finalize. So I have this generic defined system finalize, but yeah, I don't have any implementation. Okay, so I think so at some point later I'm gonna address that and remove all of the entities. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is the point where the game ends, so I don't think I really should do that, because, well, again, there are some instances of some memory allocators in some programs, like for little console programs. They just don't do anything when the free function is called. So basically they are not returning any memory to operating system, because, well, the program that is using that stuff is kind of tiny. It works a couple of seconds, and basically it would be faster just not to do anything when the memory is removed, because it will end several seconds later. Yeah, that's kind of a tricky question, whether I have to do that or not. So I'm gonna just leave the to do here, and yeah, go further. So here, yeah, I'm basically don't have to do anything here about those sprite batches. And yeah, I already modified this debug entity to be the child of the map. So yeah, I'm done here, I think. So the next system after map is the menu. That's for main menu. And again, I'm having here some objects, which probably I should remove system finalize. Entity system And maybe the same thing goes for credits. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, right, I already have this to do here. Okay, that will do. So the menu system. After the menu system, the next would be mob system. So here I don't really have any entities and any relationships. So here we go, and the next one will be player system. Okay, so that one is kinda big. So I'm having here the entity, the actual player entity. Then I'm having the last target. I don't think I should remove to make that a child of anything. I have those org images. Yeah, the debug entity. And where's that? Why I can't go? Oh yeah, because I'm doing this quite in a custom way. So here we go. I'm going to make this debug object to be the child of that player entity. Why it is called player entity and not player? Oh, I see. Because here there is the slot entity. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to try it right now with that change. There we go. Yeah, it kind of works. So I think that debug entity I just changed is that blue rectangle here. So if I click on the game, yeah, it all kind of works. Okay. So I think that's that for player system. So the next would be, which one? The player system, the sound system. Yeah, that one is interesting. But then again, I don't have any entities here which should be children of others. Yep. Do I? Yeah, I think so. Oh, wait a second. I have this interesting event handler which actually always attaches the sound that corresponds to the sprite stance, to, well, the sprite name, if, well, that sound exists. So yeah, but I'm calling the make component, so there are no entities here, and I think I'm fine there. Yeah. So after the sound system, the next would be which one? Sprite batch system. Here we go. So sprite batch. Sprites. So actually here I don't think I again have any places to put parent-child relationship here. So okay, let's search for entity. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't need anything here about that. Yeah, right. So the next one would be probably sprite system. Yeah, that one. And here I think I actually have to do something. Let's see. So I have layer names, layer batches, wherever stances, directions, stance. Yeah. So first of all, the debug entity, the same trick I did before. So where is it? So it is, that's a lot of code. That's a lot of helper functions. Probably I should refactor those to some separate file, maybe. So make prefab component here. Yeah, the debug sprite. So here I would make this debug sprite to be, this debug entity be the child of the actual entity here. Yeah. And what's next? And I think I'm having some sort of batches somewhere here. Yeah, the layer batches. Here we go. Make prefab component. So, yeah, that's the one. So I'm actually creating the sprite batches, the several sprite batches, or just the one? No, several ones. Several sprite batches for every sprite, which means that I should remove all of those sprite batches when the sprite is removed, because, well, in another case that would be memory leak. So I'm going to shove here the, well, entity. So this means that those sprite batches would be the children of that entity. Yeah, that's it. Alright, and I think I'm done here. Wait, am I calling make object nowhere else? Yeah, I'm not. And the next system would be UI system. Oh, that's a lot of code again. But I don't think I have, again, any entities here, even the debug ones. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna try and restart again, and just to quickly see if, come on, if anything is broken. I don't think anything should be broken, but just to test. Alright, let's see. Come on, why is it so slow? So, new game, yay. The credits, okay. So, the new game. Alright. Wait, what was it? I think I've seen some visual glitch when I've clicked the new game button. Whoa, that's funny. That's not a health potion, that's a sword. I mean, what? Yeah, and it acts like a health potion still, but the sprite is wrong. Okay, probably something is wrong with the sprites. Let's try it again. Yeah, sure. That's not right at all. First of all, the sprite of that spider ant has disappeared. And second, there are no sprite for health potion. Yeah, I thought so. So, sprite system. Let's see. So in sprite system, I only made those batches. Oh no, it should work because I'm having this entity, and they are removed every time and created again when I construct this component. So this this definitely should work. Why it is not working? So in sprite system I'm having, what am I having here? So system job, I'm having -2 as some indices. see if that helps. So let's see. But again, having a sword to act like a health potion was funny. Definitely some nice bug. Okay. So, dagger, and I'm clicking new game. Okay, now health potion. I'm gonna probably leave it here. Click the new game again. No item drop for me. Okay, I'm gonna pick that. Looks like everything is fine right now. Dagger. Yeah, I think right now everything is fine. There are no bugs whatsoever. Yeah, but if I uncomment that what would happen then? Okay, so no drop for me again. I definitely should rig my generator. Yeah, and now, what the heck? That's not a health potion. So that means that for some reason I create the I use the wrong batch for my component. Okay, what am I going to try right now is just to drop item near the player entity, which would be, for instance, I don't know, dagger. Yeah, so the dagger has the proper sprite. And if I drop, let's say if I drop the short sword, yeah, that's also a proper one. And if I drop the long sword, I think that's the one that is laying there and saying that it is the health potion. Yeah, so that's the same sprite here, right? And I think picking those up is working wrong. That's interesting. So what if I drop health potion? Oh, that works right. How then it was working wrong there? That's weird. That's super weird. So sword. She's not even picking up that sword for some reason. That's definitely something cheesy. Oh, I see. When I'm picking the items up, I am removing this parent-child link here. I'm removing that from session entity. That's perfectly legal and valid, but then I'm pressing the new game. So let's quickly look at the entities. When I'm pressing new game, I'm just deleting that entity, which means I'm recursively deleting all of those children. I'm doing proper cleansing of that hash table and its children. I mean, everything looks right here. Okay, so now I am picking up some items and I don't have any effect on this for some reason. That's really weird. I'm gonna shove here some debug printing, maybe. So I'm gonna drop it here and try and take it. Yeah, so I can see that this is long sword. So this is, can I? Yeah, okay. Alright, I can probably put that a level higher, but anyway. Here, yeah, right, so I'm going through that list, and when I find the corresponding sprite in my character, I just changed different sprite, like the one having the sword or the dagger or whatever. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, this code is incredibly hacky. I'm going to rewrite that at some point, but yeah, still. Weapons. Okay, I'm going to format here. Weapon. Yeah, here we go. So I'm gonna drop that again and try and take it. Toggled confirm. Okay, what if I drop short sword? Oh, now she is picking that up. Oh, I think there could be a bug when I'm trying to change to the same weapon. So, okay, if I... Is my Emacs stuck again? No. So, if I drop this short sword again and try to pick this up... Yeah, no, what? Again? Now it works, kinda. Okay, that's a different bug. What is the bug here with my item, which is actually a sword, but is pretending to be a health potion? Okay, so I'm gonna just look over the items first. Items. I forgot that's my own macro, and I forgot parameters to that. I think I don't have any. So print. Okay, so I have only one entity, and obviously that's the one lying on the ground, and that number is 21. So I'm gonna inspect its sprite, which is obviously wrong. So with sprite of 21, and with no bindings, I'm gonna print. Okay, let's look at sprite system. Let's just look what do we have here. So perhaps something is wrong with batches. Yeah, let's just see. Print player batches. Yeah, that's the hash table. Let's nicely print it. Hash table list. Alright, so we have some different entities here. Where name, sprite dash entity. Okay. So, resort for potion 23. Oh, and we actually have the very same entities here for a dagger and a short sword. That's totally wrong. So what if I drop a dagger here? Now it is right. How does that happen? Okay, I'm going to try and drop some item, just not pick that up. 27, so that's 27. Let's look at those sprite batches. So that's a 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. That looks kinda correct. Why this crap is happening? 25, 23, 22, 22 again, and 23. That's really weird. I think I probably am missing something in some delete function or something. So let's look at entities. I think I'm not deleting something. Could it be related to the fact that I'm deleting entity recursively and changing, well, basically changing the entities as I go through? It could be, perhaps it is. So the thing is that I have two same entity numbers for a different actual entities. How does that happen? So that means that at some point in make entity I have returned the wrong value. That's weird. That is kind of weird. So let's look at the entities deleted. Entities, deleted entities. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's totally wrong. Like, oh, maybe I should look at the length of that thing. Yeah, that's totally wrong, because I have the very same numbers over and over again, and I think that's how I ended up with that crap. So at some point I was having number 22 here like a lot of times, like for instance this 29. Yeah, that's totally bonkers. How does that even happen? Okay, let's just restart and see how it goes, I mean incrementally. So I'm going to, come on, start the demo again, and just, oops, is going to make a condition here that variable a is not existing. Yeah, exactly. Continue. Okay, so what are the deleted entities right now? The empty vector. Okay, so if I press new game, right now it is empty again. If I kill that thing, empty. And if I, okay, let's look at the items first. This is going to be deleted as I am going to pick that up. So yeah, that's 27, and if I pick that up, I have, whoa, that's interesting. 23, 21, 30, 29. Yeah, I have 28 here 2 times, so that's the problem right here. I've picked that crap up, and I obviously went through that thing, that deleted entity recursively. Then, wait a second, I think I found the reason why this is happening. I think I was doing this bookkeeping manually, so I was removing, yeah, and exactly, there's that comment. I was removing those, yeah, 2 times. So I think I don't even need this method anymore. Yeah, so those sprite batches now are children of that entity, and the bug entity is also the child of that. Yeah, so I think that's the problem, and I'm gonna restart and see if that helped. Okay, it's easier to type again. Alright, so I think it probably should be okay by now. And so the bug was triggered after I picked up some item. So let's try and do that. Okay, the dagger. Alright, let's pick that up. And then again. Here we go. So yeah, the health potion, and I think that's the right sprite, so everything is okay, kinda. Let's try new game again. Health potion again, so I think it kinda works. Yeah, so I fixed that. Dagger. Yeah, that works. Cool. So I think sprite, I went through all of these systems, yeah, and I've shoved that new mechanic of player parent child where possible. So I think that's that. I'm gonna make the code a bit nicer and just commit that. So okay, I think I'm done streaming for today. So thanks for watching. The next week I'm going to partake in GMTK Game Jam. That is going to be the probably largest game jam this year, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to stream that on the next Saturday. But I think that is going to be the Lisp again, but not common Lisp that time. I think I'm going to be using some different Lisp. Which one? Ooh, the mystery. So come back next Saturday to see some coding there. Alright, so thanks for watching, take care and goodbye.